Hello there, you're with Star Television Network on Channel 21, and this is the National News Bulletin File with me, Sienna Wright. First, the headlines. Honorable Khadijatu Davis has on Monday, 29th July 2019, formally launched her campaign for Members of Parliament of Constituency 110.
This constituency is very important to win.
Yes, sir.
Because if this constituency wins, it will send the message.
Yes, sir.
The Directorate of Food and Nutrition in the Ministry of Health and Sanitation has on Tuesday, 30th July 2019, held a news conference updating media practitioners and journalists on the theme for this year's World Breastfeeding Day.
You breastfeed well, your child has the highest chance of surviving and coming up in this our, can we say, harsh environment. We are faced with challenges.
The National Medical Supplies Agency, NMSA, in partnership with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation and other organizations, has held a one-day suppliers conference on Tuesday, 30th July 2019 at the Radisson Blu Conference Hall at Aberdeen in Freetown.
The rationale really is to start the process of building a relationship with suppliers. Based on our mandate, we'll be hugely involved with procurement of pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceutical products.
And in sports, football stakeholders in the country has concluded a one-day meeting with the executive members of Football Association as part of ways to bring peace.
Well, the constitution permits only 4 years. Somehow and some way and in some manner she is now 6 years. These are one of the issues that the membership not comfortable about and none of which comfortable about.
Those were the headlines. It's now time for the news in detail with me, Sienna Wright. Honorable Khadijatu Davis has on Monday, 29th July 2019, formally launched her campaign for Member of Parliament of Constituency 110, which the High Court of Sierra Leone ordered a rerun as a result of alleged electoral malpractices. Alfie Barry has the detail.
It could be recalled that the High Court of Sierra Leone declared a parliamentary seat in Constituency 110 vacant as there was alleged electoral malpractice and ordered the National Electoral Commission to rerun the election. It is as a result of this, Honorable Khadijatu Davis, which was a Member of Parliament that was petitioned on Monday 29th July, relaunched her campaign in the midst of jubilant party supporters in a packed community centre at Godrich. While addressing party faithfuls, the Western Rural District Chairman, Kasha Holland Cole, decried the current prevailing circumstances in the country and added that Sierra Leone is going through its worst moment in history.
But this is the worst period. You don't know what I mean. Me and the district council chairman, I mean an APC. If you know the kind of stress, the kind of pressure, the kind of humiliation, the kind of molestation they go through, you will not go ever plan sale for us this election.
Dr. Samura Kamara, the 2018 presidential candidate for the main opposition All People's Congress Party, admonished his supporters to be steadfast, adding that this election is very crucial as a win for the APC will send a loud message that the party is ready to take the reins of power come 2023. He called on his supporters not to be manipulated into voting for the wrong person.
This constituency is very important to win.
Yes, sir.
Because if this constituency wins, it will send the message.
Yes, sir.
Not so?
Yes, sir.
And me I sure say the message is very, very clear. We know what you follow. We are at the appeal to all. This is the same way nobody no need for campaign to you as to what you for. What you for do not so. We don't see the difficulties there. But couldn't speak on man not talk your problems, not so.
When launching her campaign, Honorable Khadijatu Davis called on the government to allow the will of the people to prevail. As she said, Constituency 110 has always been the stronghold of the APC and expressed confidence that she will command a landslide victory come August 24th. Several other party stalwarts like Honorable Cherno Majuba, Mikaelu Mansare, the deputy leader of the APC, Dr. Fode Yansane, the party secretary general, and a host of current and former honorables spoke highly of Khadijatu Davis and expressed confidence in winning the election, which was to the delight of jubilant party supporters. The rerun election has been slated for August 24th, 2019. For Star News, Alfie Barry reporting.
The Directorate of Food and Nutrition in the Ministry of Health and Sanitation has on Tuesday, 30th July 2019, held a news conference updating media practitioners and journalists on the theme for this year's World Breastfeeding Day, Empower Parents, Enable Breastfeeding Now and for the Future, at the Ministry's conference room. Adma Samai has more.
The Chief Medical Officer, Ministry of Health and Sanitation, Dr. Amara Jambai, while making a statement, said the key ingredient of breastfeeding is both the well-being of the women and children, which are neutral, and encourage all women to breastfeed their child well, which will aid the survival and development of the child. He called on all, especially the husbands and grandparents, to provide protection and support to women given their challenging environment.
You breastfeed well, your child has the highest chance of surviving and coming up in this our, can we say, harsh environment. We are faced with challenges. The environment alone is challenging. You need the protection from the parents, the grandparents. You need all the help you can get. And the breastfeeding is one strategy that helps you lead to the next generation. Every one of us here wants a progeny. We want a progeny that sustains us. We want children that can represent you well. Everyone wants a healthy child. Thus, if we make sure that we breastfeed adequately, making it exclusive, we will know that our progeny will live and be a stronger generation. Let's say this. The generation of today, they are by far more beautiful than the generation of yesterday. True or false? It is always getting better. It can only get better. The generation of today, they are by far smarter than the generation of yesterday.
The country representative, UNICEF, Dr. Ahmed El-Bashir, in a statement said, the recent data reveals the proportion of exclusive breastfeeding rate has improved up to 62%, a tremendous achievement that will contribute to the development of the children of this nation.
The World Bank new investment framework for nutrition analysis found that for every $1 invested in promoting breastfeeding, the return is $35 in economic benefits. This is an amazing investment. And children who are breastfed when making a nation that is also influencing the gross domestic product of that nation. So breastfeeding is an economic investment and it's a long-term investment.
Giving the key messages of breastfeeding, the Director of Food and Nutrition, Ministry of Health and Sanitation, Aminata Shamit Kouma, said World Breastfeeding Week is celebrated all over the world, and this year's theme, Empowered Parents Enable Breastfeeding, is critical going forward in empowering the parents and consider breastfeeding as a team effort.
And this year the theme is Empower Parents Enable Breastfeeding. Empower parents. It's not saying empower the mother. Parents, we have different types of parents. So we need to make sure we are all empowered. We know that breastfeeding is the mother's domain, but it cannot be successful without empowering the parents and everybody else around the parents. So it is extremely important that going forward, we empower the parents. Make sure we have the enabling environments everywhere. Informally, formally, we need to make sure we empower the parents. And breastfeeding is a team effort. It's not any one person's business. It's a team effort. And we need to make sure we are all in this together, each and every one of us. The media, you are so important in educating, in sending out the messages, sensitizing. This is going far and wide. And why we have this week is for intensive sensitization.
The Food and Nutrition Directorate under the Ministry of Health and Sanitation will embark on a week-long sensitization on the importance of breastfeeding. For Star TV News in Freetown, I am Adma Samai reporting.
You're still with the National News Bulletin file on Star Television Network on Channel 21, and the National Medical Supplies Agency, NMSA, in partnership with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation and other organizations, has held a one-day suppliers conference on Tuesday, 30th July 2019 at the Radisson Blu Conference Hall at Aberdeen in Freetown.
The National Medical Supply Agency, NAMSA, in partnership with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, another organization has held a one-day suppliers conference on Tuesday, 30th July 2019 at the Radisson Blu Conference Hall at Aberdeen. The conference was based on getting a well-structured and organized body in the distribution and supplies of drugs in Sierra Leone. Speaking at the conference ceremony, the Managing Director of National Medical Supplies Agency, Mr. Lawrence Ndi, mentioned the overview of drug management and national medical supplies. He continued in stating how the supplies and distribution should be done in getting a well-structured body.
Brief, the rationale really is to start the process of building a relationship with suppliers. Based on our mandate, we'll be hugely involved with procurement of pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceutical products. So it's important for us to identify who the suppliers are within the market landscape, and then start developing sort of a database. From there on, based on continuous engagement, they will be well informed who we know we can do business with, based on their preparedness, based on their record, and who maybe we might not be, in place to business with. So, short to your question, it's to start that process of getting us a forum where we can build a database for suppliers of both pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceutical products. When we say challenges, the challenges are there. Not only working with people, but executing your mandate. For instance, I did mention to you guys, during the session that our mandate is very specific. We are empowered by an act of parliament to procure, to warehouse, and then distribute drugs and medical supplies on behalf of all government entities within this country. So just looking at that mandate alone, you will start realizing that, okay, there are people or entities who are already undertaking that responsibility, but we've been empowered by law. How do we now take up these responsibilities from those either in a caretaking position or whatnot? It's a situation that, based on what we are bringing forward, we have to manage. First, we have to let people understand that this is our mandate. We have to all be on the same page and have it in mind that we are doing this with one common goal, and that is to improve the lives of our people.
Mrs. Joy Johnson, a representative from the Pharmacy Board Sierra Leone, told all in attendance of the hand-in-hand work that has been done by the board and that of NEMSA. In concluding, she gave the rundown of the work being done by the Pharmacy Board.
We encourage our manufacturers to have a representative in Sierra Leone. So when you have a representative in Sierra Leone, it's much more easier to be contacting the board when you want to register your product. So most of the manufacturers have their representatives in Sierra Leone. Registered import and wholesale pharmaceutical companies licensed by the board, governmental NGOs, health programs and facilities approved by the Ministry of Health, and then we also have multinational companies and manufacturers. There are some cases like GSK. Lately he has gotten a local agent, but previously he didn't have one, so he was doing the registrations directly with us, but that was a little bit tedious, so it's better you have your local agent here.
For Star News in Freetown, Patrick Davis reporting.
And now to round up the news sports. Football stakeholders in the country has concluded a one-day meeting with the executive members of Football Association as part of ways to bring peace. So let's join our sports correspondent Hilton John for some sporting updates.
day, everyone. Welcome for today's sporting news. We start to look at things. It's a good news within the football family. For the first time after 2 years, the Secretary General of the Football Association, Christopher Kamara, met with football stakeholders as the way forward within the football family. It could be recalled that the football family is divided, different shades of opinion about the running of the football association. They should have got a meeting with the Ministry of Sports, with the Honorable Minister of Sports, Honorable Ibrahim Yelenke, but one or two reasons the meeting was postponed. But how does the football stakeholders feel meeting the executive of the football association? They explain more to Star Sports.
Well, the constitution permits only 4 years. Somehow and some way, and in some manner, she is now 6 years. These are one of the issues with the membership not comfortable about, and none of which comfortable about. It's like a government president, a political president, they try for maneuver the constitution for stay in office instead of X number of years for add 1, 2, 3 years. We're not allowed democratically. What thing that happened that the president, Aisha Johnson, find himself in office this extra 2 years with the backing of FIFA. Unfortunately, it is wrong. It is one of the problems that really creates the problem in football today, and one of the issues we need to be addressed. But I think instead we don't get instructions from FIFA that she needs to seek a new mandate.
So what will be the general message now to everybody really into football in the country?
Well, before this frank talk starts, let me admonish the executive and the secretariat that they have to be honest to their conscience. They get for us a football life family, and after the whole thing, we all get for come back together and meet and chat and be friends and family. So it is a small place. My advice to everybody is, now do things the right way.
I will assure you, say, Mr. Sef that is going to stakeholder, we don't depend this fight. I think we are fed up now, we don't decide to say no left. And this small gathering, we were disappointed with the president not come because of the criteria we stand for that time, not meet to so you know come. But we appreciate we self we meet and we believe say we don't tire. And what the government don't do, now we want to implement. If government don't put so much money on football, we self want to see, say, let we talk to people, let we come together, let we want, let we compare to the government. Because this is a government now where they spend money. That's not my own thing. And I think we don't big people there. This we don't do. Let's work as a team because now the woman, now the president of the FA, we all know that. That has been established by court, not to me. So we have to take the law by the court. Then they will take the procedure, go to Congress. If we would have wanted to campaign win, they're not fit again. Let all stakeholders stop. Let me say stop now. We're not just going to proceed. Let us support the FA. Don't continue this.
Mahmoud Maki, Real Mark Football Club, chairman. I feel very great and I feel very, very, very positive about this meeting today. Seeing all the stakeholders together with the administrators being together, it gives me the expectation that things will be better. And we're looking forward to that. And we pray that the Almighty God will surely put His blessing upon this and make it become a reality.
Very much, I'm very pleased and I want to thank God for this initiative. Whilst the meeting, I decided to put together and everybody give me their support. All stakeholders and all the executive that we present now, we all get a fruitful discussion without the ministry. It was very, very good. And I'm sure we all hear all the statements then. And I don't give me assurance going forward. I will work in the interest of the FA and the membership.
You know, it's an atmosphere where everybody feel safe or say frankly what you feel. And I should say that kind of informal gathering here. They can informal gatherings here, one way or the other, they help to minimize the tension. So that when finally we meet in an official capacity, I mean, all the things that we worry about would have been addressed.
The name is Mohamed Bangua, the national country supporter, where they support Eastern Lions. Today, I feel good today, where all the stakeholders that we all meet now today. We all know Sierra Leone football, we don't do police fights. Only we all realize, say, yeah, the future, within now we are for we picking them, we will not be shellfish. We left the fete. Salon football, they go to the drain. I'm glad for the stakeholders, them, let we all cast one, the SLFE. Let we all cast one. Let we look at the bigger picture from Mama Salon. We don't tire with this fete. We need sanity. We need peace. Let we all think, say, yes, somebody there, we create we.
A very good gathering, I step in the right direction. And I'm Eastern Region Football Association Vice Chairman, and I'm Match Commissioner for CAF, Confederation of African Football. I feel saying when there is peace, we'll be able to map out strategies on the way forward.
It's a good platform for the football stakeholders. Majority of the football stakeholders now are calling for peace, sanity within the football family. We hope that they will stick with the mentality of changing the beat from negative thinking about the Football Association and also the stakeholder as a whole, and think about how to develop the level of football, because now the national team will be engaging in the CAF competition and also in the World Cup competition. That's all for sport.
Thank you very much, Hilton, for that sporting update. Well, viewers, that's all we have time for in the National News Bulletin file for the hour on Star Television Network on Channel 21. I am Sienna Wright. Thanks for watching, and do stay with us if you can.